Imagine a 15-year-old girl named Mia. She spends countless hours scrolling on social media through Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and YouTube. She's constantly comparing herself to others, and she's targeted by cyberbullying, and she struggles with anxiety, depression, and insomnia. For some reason, she has this aching feeling of just not being able to disconnect from her phone and from social media. As someone who has struggled with mental health through my teenage years and has researched teen mental health and the impacts that social media can have on it, I found a troubling reality. While social media can be entertaining and connecting, it can also cause significant harm on the mental health of teens. My research draws from various sources such as Pew Research Center, the American Psychological Association, as well as multiple peer-reviewed journals. Today, I want to share why excessive use of social media can harm teens, how stricter regulations can help mitigate these harm factors, and how parents, educators, and policymakers can protect our adolescents. The first main point I want to get across is the negative impact that social media has on teen mental health. The Pew Research Center posted an article in 2022, and it reported that 95% of teens use YouTube, 67% of teens are using TikTok, while 60% are using Instagram. Many of these teens have reported that they cannot disengage from these platforms, often checking their phones immediately upon waking up and before going to sleep, during meals, and in school. This constant connectivity is causing sleep disturbances, poor focus in school, and even physical issues such as strained eyes and headaches. Research has also shown that excessive social media use can damage the mental health of teenagers. Twenge and Campbell posted in 2018 found that teens who spend more than 2 hours per day on screens have reported lower well-being, including reduced happiness as well as self-esteem. Consider this. Scrolling through images of a seemingly perfect life of your peers can leave teens feeling inadequate, anxious, or even depressed. Or as some teens use the phrase FOMO, fear of missing out. Cyberbullying adds another risk to this layer. In 2021, the Pew Research Center released a study of 59% of teens have experienced some form of online harassment. The consequences of serious victims of cyberbullying have been significantly more likely to experience depression, anxiety, as well as even suicidal thoughts. For example, let's use Mia again. Imagine Mia posts a picture of herself on social media that she's so proud of, but it receives negative comments from her peers. How's Mia gonna feel? Right? She's gonna feel insecure, judged, stressed, like she can't satisfy other individuals. Over time, this pattern is going to erode her confidence and her mental health. Understanding these risks makes it clear that social media is not just harmless, but is also a space that requires safety and oversight. That leads us in our next main point, number 2, the benefits of stricter regulations. Stricter regulations can help teens due to mitigating the amount of time that they're spending on social media. The American Psychological Association, as well as the U.S. Surgeon General, both recommend safety standards for social media. These include limiting algorithm-driven content that promotes harmful corporate comparison and addictive behavior, encouraging healthy screen time usage and boundaries. Evidence shows that countries with stricter regulations report lower rates of depression and anxiety. For instance, European nations like Norway and Germany have implemented age restrictions, limited addictive notifications, as well as required platform reports on harmful content. Stricter regulations address targeting advertisement that exploits teens' vulnerabilities. Social media platforms often track the behaviors and decisions, likes, comments, posts of these individuals, and it pushes content based off of those interactions, right? However, if regulations are part of the solution, it's critical to also know what actions that families, schools, and policymakers can take to create a safer environment. Parents, educators, and policymakers each play a significant role in the teens' lives, right? Parents are always at home, so they can actively guide the teens in monitoring their screen time. They can also discuss the online risks and promote healthy boundaries with their kids as far as social media usage goes. According to Pew Research Center in 2022, teens whose parents engaged in digital discussions with their kids reported lower stress levels and a higher well-being. Schools and communities. Our kids are at school for most of the day, right? So a lot of the teachers, the faculty, and other staff are constantly around the kids. So helping implementing programs that can teach them healthy digital habits, digital literacy within the classes can help educate students about cyberbullying and misinformation, and also safe social media usage. And then policymakers, government, right? We all fall under the government. We all follow their laws, their rules. So implementing legislation that limits minors from being able to be exposed to such harmful content that is posted online, such as pornography, misinformation, and other things of that nature, can help students and teenagers in general stay away from this harmful content. For example, a school in California introduced a digital wellness week, where teaching teens to track their screen time and reflect on their online habits and have practice phone-free activities help the students achieve better sleep, reduce anxiety. However, these are small but impactful, healthier social media usage. With a collective action from parents, educators, and lawmakers, we can protect our teens from the dangers that are online. In conclusion, excessive social media usage negatively affects teen mental health, but evidence-based regulations, strategies can prevent these harms. As parents, policymakers, teachers, and even the teenagers themselves all play a role in being able to create a safe environment on social media for our kids to use, so that way they aren't constantly dealing with depression and other mental disorders. Thank you.